space after you saw that live video, that recorded video of our tour of the space. If you have any questions, you can send them in on Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube. Do we have any questions yet? So I'm just hearing the question and I'll repeat it back to everybody in a moment. So the first question is, will we be able to do everything we saw in the video in the children's library, even during COVID? Of course, our first priority during COVID is to keep our staff and customers safe while they're here. So we were able to film the video with the how things will be again someday, and now we put away some of the equipment. A lot of what we'll be doing is asking customers to mask and hand sanitize while they're here, and so they'll be able to play with the playground equipment, but we've put away all of the communal toys, basically. So the building equipment and some of the little pieces that you saw in various spaces. We'll be putting those away, but we'll have wonderful things for children to do and families to do when they come to the children's library. Any other questions coming in? Okay, so the question is about the number of children's computers we'll have available. So we will have 5 children's computers available. That's to increase social distancing. Normally we'd have 10. And then we also have a creative iMac in our children's makerspace, so that you'll be able to book in advance as well. And you'll learn all about that in the children's makerspace video coming up. Yeah, so the question is about how often we'll be cleaning the computers once we're open, and I think throughout, we'll want to know about cleaning practices throughout COVID times. And so the computers themselves will have sanitary wipes available or the right kind of wipes available for cleaning computers between uses, and customers can use that. We ask them to clean it themselves before and after. We'll also have, for opening weekend, we'll have a porter available, and we have cleaners at Milner the whole time that we're open, so we'll be cleaning frequently as much as we need to. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You can send in your questions. We've got some room for some. Okay, so the question is, will the wall still be touch accessible to the public? I believe we're talking about, do we know which wall we're talking about? We have a number of really fun walls here in Children's and also throughout the Milner Library. So the wall that I have in Children's here is called the Bergeron Interactive Wall, and we will have hand sanitizer and frequent cleaning of it, so that one will be accessible. The digital wall you might have seen on the preview will have a specific Q&A about it coming up later today, but there again will be hand sanitizer. You can ask those questions to the wall experts. Okay. Okay, so the question is about parents who want to work while keeping an eye on their kids. And having been working with my kids around for the last 6 months, I can sympathize with that question. So we have our 5 computers that are available here. They're built for children, but adults are able to use them if they have kids with them or if they have a specific need to be in this space. So I would recommend bringing in your own toys for children, just because we can't really share toys right now, but if you can bring in some things for your children to do, it's a beautiful space. There's it's carpeted and lots of things for kids to, lots of space for kids to be able to play. There's tables nearby, so the space is really set up for parents and children to interact. We find that's the best experience for everybody. But if there's really something the parent needs to do on the computer, as long as they kind of stay nearby you, especially right now when we're encouraging physical distancing, our staff will be available to support parents in this way, but we do ask that children stay nearby their parents while they're here right now. I'm just waiting for another question. My kids have seen the new library. We had the great opportunity. Sorry, the question is, have your kids seen the new library? We had the great opportunity to come in a couple of weeks ago, and they were just astounded. They every day now when I go to work is a bit of a struggle. My kids are 3 tomorrow and 5.5, and every day, including today, can I come with you? I want to go to work with you. Their favorite part, my almost 3-year-old's favorite part, was the baby toilet in our washroom. So she said that on the way home. She just said my favorite part. There's a tiny little toilet. She's potty training, and she just felt like she was in charge. Really fun to have her see that. And my son's favorite spot was the children's makerspace with all the Lego and robots. Although he also spent 15 minutes just coloring while he was here. Thanks for that question. Another one. Okay, the question is about the hours for the children's library. So the main children's library is open the same hours as the Stanley Milner Library. That is 1 to 5 on Sundays, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Mondays and Tuesdays, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Wednesdays and Thursdays, and 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Fridays and Saturdays. That's all available on the website. For the children's makerspace, which you'll be learning about in just a few minutes, those hours will be limited based on when we have staff available to be in the space with the customer at this time. Another question? Okay, so the question is, do we have a private nursery room for new parents? We do have a room called the Discovery Room. We do encourage and allow, of course, breastfeeding anywhere on the floor or throughout the entire library as parents are comfortable. But if parents, for a reason for breastfeeding or even just to be able to step away for a moment with children, if the space is overwhelming in the moment, we have a room called the Discovery Room. And it's called that because it can be used for any purpose. One of those main purposes will have it available for parents who need to remove themselves for just a little while if they need. Another question? Okay, the question's about the big piano and if it plays any songs. So the big piano will play anything that is played on it. It responds to people walking on it, jumping on it, hopefully gently. And so anything that you can dream of, if it's within the 2-octave, 3-octave range that we have, you can play it, including duets. So it's pretty fun. Oh, we have a comment from Brandy about the dinosaur shirt. Thank you. When I actually bought it when I got this job, even though we've been working on the library for so long, I'm really excited to be wearing it when the kids start coming in. Thanks. Okay, we have a question about in-person classes. Of course, with COVID, our top priority being the safety of customers and staff. Doing a class with physical distancing means we can't have very many people in there, but we are starting to talk about piloting some in-person classes. We have this beautiful play space that you saw in the video, the Brown family play space, and it's a very large space. It's nice and open, and it has a stage that we can have staff members on and encourage that distancing from the customers. So keep your eyes open. There will be information coming out in the next few months about that. We will also offer some on-demand, in-person short, we call them story stops. They maybe hear a few activities, a couple of stories, and that'll be as we're able, as customers are coming in with their family. So we'll try to do one family group at a time or one cohort if daycares are walking and they want to have somewhere to go. So there'll be little mini versions of in-person classes. I know our staff can't wait to connect with families again. We miss everybody so much. And in the meantime, we also have our wonderful EPL at home content. In about 5 minutes, you'll see a baby lap time with Michelle, who is here. She'll be working at the Children's Library, and we have lots of that great content available online in the meantime as well. Okay, any more questions? Okay, question about my personal favorite children's program to run. It's been a little while, having been a manager here for so long, since I've had the opportunity to run a program or a class. But my favorite one is working with children in the makerspace, where we get to create anything. We like to have a challenge involved and give people equipment so that they can build and explore and test. And the number of things that I can learn from kids and the way that they think about building and creating and how technology works surprises me every time. I think we have time. Well, we have 5 more minutes and I talk fast, so get your questions in. Okay, a question about what my favorite book is to read to my kids. My kids, I like to give them choice. I think choice in reading is so important for kids. So the books that they choose, especially recently, are not my favorite books. The greatest part about that is that my youngest is now starting to pick apart the plot lines of books that I have not liked. She's asking me questions about, well, where does this fish come from? And why are they suddenly looking for that? This doesn't make sense. And I say, this is what I've been trying to tell you. But I'm always really happy when they pick the Elephant and Piggy books. I think they're such great books about friendship. This is Mo Willems. Lots of moments of surprise and humor, and they're just so much fun. For my 5-year-old, I'm also starting to read some chapter books with him, and the Renly Chronicles, something like that. I didn't prep for this question. Have been really bringing forth his imagination, and then he starts bringing that into his play, and that's really fun to see as well. Okay, a question from Carly about what I'm excited about to get to for the long wait for opening day. I'm just so excited to have people in this space. I was working from home for a while, and then I came back into the space. We've got 13,000 square feet, and I've been in here. We have staff starting to come back, and that's been really nice. But I'm just so excited to see the customers, the looks on kids' faces. We've had a few kids coming to see family members or people who are being filmed for various promotional events, and just seeing the kids starting to interact with the space is what I'm so excited to see. A question from Janie about the aquarium. Yes, that is a real, go this way, a real aquarium behind me. We have one fish whose name is George, and the great thing, you can see it as people are walking by outside right now, is that you can see out into the rest of the library. So as people arrive at the library, there's the mural that you'll be learning more about later today as well, and then they can see through the aquarium into the children's library. It's such a great feature of the space. Thanks. Okay, we have time. Oh, we've got 2 more minutes, so we have time for a few more questions. What kind of fish are in the aquarium? Somebody stumped me. I'm still learning about that. before next week, we'll learn about what kind of fish. I know one of them is named George, and then the rest of them we still have to name, and we'll make sure we know what kind of fish are there before the kids start coming in, because we know that'll be a question. Okay, I think one more. Okay, so besides the children's library, what's my other favorite area? I have to pick one favorite. It's going to be really hard. I'm going to cop out and pick my kids' other favorite area, which was right now, as I'm sure anybody who's been downtown knows, we have a lot of construction going on outside the library. And there is a spot on the 2nd floor with a bench that you can look out over Churchill Square. So these windows, there are so many windows here, and it's just stunning. They were able to sit on that bench and watch construction from above. So they were watching an excavator, and I think we spent 20 minutes of their time coming here and just watching that excavator. I think that the windows would have to be my favorite place here. So I think that brings us to the end of our time. I am going to click out of here, and please go and watch the rest of the videos today. It's going to be some pretty cool things, and I can't wait to see you all here starting on Thursday.